On your business proposal or franchise proposal, you talk about being a diverse group of boxers bound together by passionate trainers. I know I've cut it a little bit short, but how do you, when you go into a town or a city or wherever, how do you decide who to target? Or is it more about people with a similar belief system and all kinds of ages and demographics? How do you look at the person that you want to go after to walk in the door?
For members?
Yeah, from a member's perspective.
We don't advertise, but we do boost our post, right? We just get our content in front of as many people as possible and just say, here's what we're doing. And that's it. Most of our focus is getting people to our social channels to look at what we're doing. If they want to click and follow through and sign up, that's up to them. Other than that, it's one person at a time and making sure like everybody raves about this. And it's not for everybody, by the way. Some people walk in there like, nah, I'm just going to go sit in my corner at Equinox, or like, I love Orange Theory. That's fine, and I root for them, right? But some people are like, this is for me, and making sure we support those people.
How do you probably a different way of putting it is how do you know what language to talk to? Like I've sort of followed Gary Vee quite a bit, and funny enough, he has a book called Jab, 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 Right Hook. Yeah. And so with what a lot of stuff he talks about, it's, you know, making that sort of relevance to your audience. Yeah. Are you sort of not niched down into, well, this is the type of person? How do you communicate in a way that resonates with?
I can tell you right now, yeah, we're horrible at it. We're horrible at it. I say it all the time, and it's always been the case with me. How do I explain to people what it feels like when you're in the building, what the experience is like, what the people are like? It feels impossible, right? So I just don't think about it, and I just try to put what we're doing in front of as many people as possible and just be who we are and hope it works out. That's actually the truth. It really is the truth. And like, I try to like wordsmith promos and all that. It's really hard. So I'm like, let's just be authentic, take our time, run a good business, and wait. Yeah, that's really it for me.
And is that something that you'll, over time, if you progress it at the right speed, you'll get those learnings and figure out how to navigate that as you start to scale? And
yeah, I think you start to learn how to connect with people and like what works, like being able to tell people like it's everything except what happens in the ring. You know, those are little moments for people. But honestly, the times have changed. Like there was a time where we could say you could box, run, lift, all, you know, for one gym membership and boom, 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 and no contract. And people were like, cool, I'm attracted because you're differentiated. Authentic boxing was like a buzz term, right? And no matter this gym, no matter how I say all these trainers are real boxers, we teach authentic boxing, my dad was a boxer, I was a boxer, people still walk in and say, is this real boxing? Because everybody screwed it up, right? And I'm not gonna mention names because I also root for them because they get people throwing punches. But people go in those places looking for authentic boxing experiences, and they don't get them, and then they think we're going to trick them as well. So I think it's just oh, and then the last thing is, like, Facebook is tanking. And you know why? Because ads don't work anymore. Twitter, having a hard time. You know why? Ads don't work anymore. I could go on. Ads are like a penance for not telling your story and being authentic, and unless you have $7 million. Every quarter, you know? So I think if you don't have that, you just got to be real. We got to do it a little bit differently. Those days are gone.
Is it in some cases, and I spoke to someone a little while ago.
Marketing and all that, it's gone.
Yeah, it's almost like back to old-fashioned word of mouth and slowly building your...
And it's scary and I don't like it. I prefer the old-fashioned, but I think you just got to be real. You got to say, like, this might not be for you. So you got to spend a little bit less and take your time. That's what I believe, at least. With
that, my community is obviously key, and I know you use that terminology a lot. How do you create a strong community, and how have you done that here in a short space of time? And I have to admit that even my wife had worked on this project with you for a very long time, and
thank you guys so much.
And she was telling me about it, and until I came here, I didn't even get. It was totally different to what I expected. Yeah. But how have you been able to successfully create that community?
Yeah, the community is hard because they're so delicate. And I think, look, I'm not a master, but I constantly remembering to give the people who are in the building right now all my attention and show that the other people who are working with me see me do that and do the same thing. I think that's number one. That couldn't be more important. Living the lifestyle. couldn't be more important. Creating fun, smiles, laughter. It's just like there's no handbook on that, you know? So I think I'm going to go back to, honestly, with community, it's got to be the people you work with. They got to feel like your brothers and sisters, uncles, children, fathers, mothers. Like you got to create, your staff has to be a family, and there can't be turnover. And most gym operators I speak to, they're like, we need trainers, but they actually say, I hate trainers. They use those words. Trainers are so hard to deal with. Turnover, how do you deal with that? They don't appreciate it. They say things like they overvalue themselves. They always want more. They're lazy. They say all this stuff about trainers. And I'm like, how's that working for you? So that, right? And I didn't recruit anybody in this facility. The 2 people who work here that haven't worked with me for 6 to 10 years walked in here over and over, and I finally said, all right, because you're persistent. So I think you have to select for character and invest in people, and do not let them go. Don't. Just think long term. It works, but it's short-sightedness will make you treat trainers like like Uber. And just those days are also over.
Yeah. What do you, with the education side what are you doing differently in terms of your training and programming that you're running here, and I guess scaling to other facilities?
Just hard. Like, you can fail. You can fail and have your money back. You can actually just fail and not get the certification. Our program for people that get educated is part virtual, part in person. And once you purchase it or pay for it, or even if I give it to you for free, or your gym pays for it, when I fail you, you can keep trying. But if you don't want to keep trying and failing and get over the hump, then I don't want you. Because I know what's going to happen, you know? You're going to go to a gym, it's not going to work out. Your first 3 weeks are going to be tough, and you're going to teeter off. And now forget the fact that there may have been some revenue there. We wasted our time. And so I think it's making it hard, not making it easy, and selecting for people who want to invest in themselves and spend the time and push past a little bit of failure.
Right.
And if they don't want to humble themselves to learn a program that could help them make a living for themselves, we don't want them. It's okay to say that. That's our attitude.
Looking on some of your social media pages, it seems as though you're a big Web 3.0 advocate and quite digitally minded. I was looking at one of your pages. I didn't even know what you're talking about on some of the stuff there. Is that something that you're bringing into this business, whether in terms of education or connecting with clients? How are you bringing that part of your passion into this?
Yeah, Web3 is the future of membership businesses, businesses that have an element that's kind of like all real estate transactions should use blockchain. All when you buy a car or transfer what do you call it for auto? A deed or not a deed?
Title?
The title, blockchain. I think all banking should be done through blockchain. It's way more efficient. I could go on, but for membership businesses, absolutely. It's just a great way, and I think I won't go into the detail, but if you're in the gym business and you're not looking at how to leverage blockchain right now, you're nuts. You're nuts. Just read about it, dip your toe in it, you know? Right now, people don't even know because I don't have time to promote it because people wouldn't even understand it. You can buy a membership to our gym on an Ethereum platform on OpenSea, right? And it's $3,000, membership for life. It's the best deal, right?
Just nobody knows how to figure it out.
You can buy it and then sell it to a friend for more, right? And no one can figure it out. But we're just trying to make sure, when everybody wakes up and says, oh, we're like, yep, we're ready, right? So I'll leave it there, but I could go on and on. I think letting your community make decisions and being able to benefit from it and then feeling ownership when you're like, should we close down or should we open and all that, you can use blockchain technology for that. Say, hey, let's vote. What should the price be? Should we raise it? Should we not? What classes should we have? The same platform where they can process their payments. You can use they can vote with, you know? Or, hey guys, we had a great year because you guys stuck with us and invited your friends. Here's $20 to go towards your membership every month for the next year. You can do that with blockchain by pressing a button. Try doing that with Stripe, you know? So I'll stop there, but that's why I'm so fascinated by it, and I just want to make sure I'm not behind.